'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Gentlemen, probably mostly gentlemen, welcome back to the Aero Auto Podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Justin, joined by my always wonderful co-host, Michael. How's it going, Michael?
It's going good. Happy National Aviation Day to y'all.
I thought that was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? I don't know, dude. My days are so mixed up with my work schedule.
Yeah, I saw the Lockheed Martin post about National Aviation Day today. I saw it. I don't know when it was, though. It was either today or yesterday. Bottom line is, airplanes are cool. Lockheed Martin.
And every day is National Aviation Day.
Mm-hmm. Lockheed Martin makes some cool machines
that you've never heard of.
Yeah, nor will you probably ever see in your entire life. Unless, obviously, you join the military, but...
Or shit just absolutely hit the fan.
Yeah.
So we're on that track.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Well, what do we talk about today, Mike?
Well, last week we promised them we talked about Mac tools.
Yeah, that is true. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Mac tools. I've got the flyer here open. Oh, actually, I got to close this. We'll pull that up here, go over the flyer. It's got that impact driver that we looked at last week in the flyer, so we can take a look at that. But go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to ask if you own any Mac tools.
Yeah, I own one. I guess it's a pair of Mac tools. It's the Pocket Pry Bars, and they're awesome.
What do you use them for?
For pocket pry bars. No, I've got them in my shirt pocket every day. I put my pen, my Streamlight, my pocket pry bar, and a tire tread depth gauge in my pocket. That's what I got every day, all day in my pocket.
Yeah, I like those pocket pry bars so much. I ended up buying myself a set and my dad a set.
Yeah, I almost thought about buying a couple more sets just because, but I mean, they're lifetime warranty. How many people can say you get a pocket screwdriver that's lifetime warranty?
Or a pry bar, because I don't know, are pry bars still lifetime warranty on the truck?
On the Matco truck, I have no idea. Or the Mack truck, I mean? No, I'm not sure. I think the Matco pry bars are. Was I reading that? I don't know. I'll have to look. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, lifetime warranty on the Mack pocket pry bars. Check them out. Everybody raves about them. All the guys on YouTube. I guess not all. I've seen a few guys on YouTube talk about how great they are. My guy Coon Trucking. Go check him out. Love his channel. He did a modification to it. I think one of his videos is like making the perfect tool, and he drills I think he drills a little slot in the backside of it and puts a magnet in, so it's like a normal pocket screwdriver that is a magnet on the end, but it's the pocket pry bar, so you can always do that. Then you have your little magnet, because I know a lot of guys like their magnet on the end, so it's all up to you. But I didn't put the magnet on mine. It's still great tool. I feel like I use it. I mean, I use it every day. But yeah, I mean, I use it for everything.
Yeah, I like using them on like ignition coil connectors, you know, because they've been on there for so long and they're just subject to all that heat. It seems like they get stuck on there.
Right. Well, I mean, you can use it in place of any like pocket screwdriver, except it's a pry bar material. The steel or whatever in it is technically supposed to be like prying material. But yeah, I mean, you can use it for electrical connectors. Always, you know, like pry up those clips on everything. I usually pull oil filter gaskets on the canister style. I usually pull those off with it, because you got to put the new ones on every oil change. Bless you. Yeah, a lot of times too, your drain plug gaskets get stuck to the oil pan, so you just put that little pry bar in there, and they pop right out. I used it to pull a fuse one time. I probably wouldn't recommend it. You could probably use better things, but it worked. So
hey, sometimes you're in a tight spot.
Right, I know. What else have I used it for? I don't know. I mean, anytime you need a pocket screwdriver. Everyone knows how to use a pocket screwdriver. And enough said. They're cool. Lifetime warranty. I would go and check them out. But
so, I guess I own a couple more Mac tools than what you got currently. I think they make the best ratchet extensions on the market, because the knurling along the shank is very grippy. You can feel it, and you can kind of spin it as a nut driver.
Yeah.
And also they put that knurling on the female end, and that's what sets them apart from like the Snap-on and Matco ones that I have, and pretty much anything I've seen in stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up paying full price for them just because I can't figure out how to get their student discount. But they're my favorite extensions by far.
Yeah.
I picked up their 1/4-inch drive, that swivel head ratchet, the 7-inch.
Mm-hmm.
The part number is MR100 SPA. I found that at a pawn shop that only does tools. I think I ended up only paying like $28 for it. You know, I put a little super lube in there. Works great.
Yeah.
No problems with it. Like brand new.
Yeah. Nice. You gotta find the local tool pawn shops near you for everyone who's watching. 'Cause you can find some pretty neat deals.
You can find like a lot of like specialty tools and tool kits, like ball joint presses and pulley pullers that are just lightly used and half the price of what you would pay on the truck.
Yeah. Yes.
So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only Mac tool I got. I used a couple weeks ago. I forget what I was doing, but I wasn't buying my cart, and one of the guys at the shop has one of them newer, I think they're newer, Mac locking flex head ratchets. It was pretty nice. I mean, it looks cool. The locking mechanism is a little unique.
I don't think I've seen one.
They're pretty cool. I'll pull one up on the website here. Show everyone. But yeah, they it's like a button. You press a little button at the top where the head and the handle connect. And that depresses like a detent ball or whatever, and then you can move it into place. But I think the only downside is that if you don't want it locked, you can't just like take it off. It's either you have to hold the button down if you want it to be like a floppy head, which is kind of not my thing, because I feel like most of the time on my locking flex head, my Matco, I have the lock off. It's just like a floppy head, but when I need that lock, it's there, and I have the ability to lock it, which is what I like. Where the Mac one it's like strictly locking. It's you put it in the position that you want it, and it's stuck there. Because I think the Snap-ons too, you can take the lock off, and then it's just floppy, and then you can
that's what I did on my 3/8 one. I was getting tired of it.
Pop it back into place. But I mean, even like you could pull it down and push it to the side, that little whatever thing, and then it's loose. And then when you want to set the lock, you pull it over to where like the Mac one, you press the button, you move it, then it's locked. But there's no way to keep that button depressed. So I don't know, not really my thing. But they're cool. They feel nice. They got a nice little head. They kind of remind me like the Tecton heads.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
I've never seen the inside of them. I don't know if they're dual pawl, single pawl. I don't know what their deal is, but they're cool. They're cool ratchets.
I'll take mine apart because I picked up a long, I think it was like 18-inch, maybe 25-inch 3/8 one at Myers. I don't know.
Oh, the Tecton one?
Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to use it, but it was on clearance. It was like $25.
Yeah.
So I figured it was worth $25.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the Mac heads. I don't know what the inside of the Mac heads look like.
Gotcha.
Not the Tectons. I mean, I don't know what the insides of those look like either, but
yeah, it seems like on those round roto head ratchets, all the ratcheting mechanisms are pretty much the same. They kind of have like they got the round pawl, and then the housing is also toothed.
Yeah,
it uses like this weird heart-shaped spring,
right,
as your on-off selector.
Well, I think that's just like what the ratchets were like back in the day. That's probably some pretty old tech. I think Snap-on owned the patent for it, or SK. No, I think SK owned the patent for it.
Really? I didn't know that.
And they had a special name for it. I think it was SK, but I forget who was telling me about that. They had one of like the original, like round head, like roto ratchets. Whatever you want to call them. I don't know what the proper name for them is. I just call them round head.
Yeah. Snap-on doesn't offer a 3/8 one on their student discount. So I bought a 1/4-inch one and emailed their customer service, told them I broke a 3/8 one, and they sent me a repair kit. I just made it into a 3/8 one because I don't know. I really like the size. It's very convenient for starting bolts in tight spaces.
Yeah. You shouldn't have said that. Their Snap-on's going to come for you now. You're cheating their system.
Why would I pay $15 on a rebuild kit for a ratchet? I already spent like $60 on.
Right, I know. Well, Snap-on didn't get their money though. They're going to come for you, knocking at your door.
I'm going to get a bill next week in the mail.
They're like the government, I swear. But let's get into this tool flyer. I got it pulled up here. I don't know, Mike, can you see it on your end?
I didn't open up the live page. Let me do that real quick.
Here, I will do it for you in Lay Discord.
Oh.
All right, let me know if you can see that. But we're gonna start going through this. Let me know when you.
Dynamic duo.
Oh, can you see it already?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, this is their flyer. I think I got one. I don't remember what I did. I probably threw it in the garbage, but nevertheless, yeah.
That's why the Mac guy never comes to you.
Well, nobody ever buys anything from our Mac guy. Some of the guys buy stuff, but he doesn't show up as often as what the Matco guy does. Shout out to Matco, staying true to the shop. But yeah, dynamic duo. These are I think one of them is the ratchet or the impact from the video last week with the 200. I think they talk more about it on the next page. But yeah, here's the next page. 12 volt max, brushless. What's the little asterisk? With respect? Respect? Is that what that says?
I can't read it.
I don't know. But yeah, this is the one that they were talking about. It should 200 foot-pound breakaway torque on this one with like the gray head. And this is the screwdriver, not the impact. So it looks like you can get both for $349. That's not a bad deal.
No, it's really not.
Does it come with a includes
battery and charger?
R-spec with battery, charger. Yeah, I mean it looks like it. Screwdriver, impact, and screwdriver, or impact and screwdriver bundle. I don't know. Looks like a cool oops. Looks like a cool deal.
Yeah, those air drills are nice. We use them at school all the time.
Yeah.
I do have a 12 volt hammer drill that I use for places where I can't get, the air hose in.
Mm-hmm.
But, 9 times out of 10, I'll use the pneumatic ones. They're only the Blue Point ones. I haven't gotten my hands on any of the fancier ones, but seem to be worth their weight in gold.
Nice.
If you're doing some sort of fabrication.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like much has changed in the world of air drills. They look like the same air drills people have been using for a long time. But what does it get this free?
When you buy, that's not a bad deal.
When you buy the half-inch. Yeah, no, it's not terrible. I keep flipping that on accident. This lighting is cool too. I gotta get some more lighting. All the guys at work use this like beam style lighting. I think the bases are magnetic. They're pretty cool. I mean, I'd get some. I need to buy some more lighting too.
Yeah, Harbor Freight one sells a flashlight similar to that for about half the price. However, I don't think they have the durability as what the Mac does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how long are the magnets gonna be strong? There's all kinds of
usually
factors.
They break in half from all the ones I've seen.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, looks pretty cool. 60 lumens. Top light, low front. Yeah. Cool light. I like it. I'd buy it. Wish the Mac guy would show up so I could look at things. I think there's RBRT bits in here too. We can talk about that.
Yeah, they're right on your left.
Right there.
Those look awesome.
I was thinking of the bits, not the T handles. But I mean, I guess the
ends are the same.
Yeah, the drive ends the bit. But yeah, it's the same technology, RBRT. It's revolutionary bit something technology. What that stands for, I don't remember. Oh, no, to these revolutionary RBRTs. Maybe that would be redundant if revolutionary was in there twice, but who knows? Yeah, they're cool. I looked at them on the truck. I've seen a few demo videos. They seem like they'd work.
Yeah, they definitely look like they round out the fastener a lot less on your standard hex head.
Yeah.
I actually have a set of long Mac hex heads I picked up on eBay for like $90. They were probably used once. I used them on the caliper last night when we did your brakes.
Yeah.
And they seem strong. I liked them.
Are they RBRT?
They are not RBRT.
Oh.
They're standard hex. I just don't know if I'm gonna use them enough where I can spend $300 on a specialty socket set, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple years down the line, if I find myself always grabbing them, I'll check them out.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. They make they do Torx, hex, and triple square, and then like e-Torx and stuff, I think. I'd probably get the hex, like the Allen heads. I mean, you see that quite a bit, and maybe the Torx. I don't think I'd buy triple squares in the RBRT. I mean, I don't know how much of a difference it's really making, and I don't know how many. I don't know how many triple squares you're gonna see, but I mean, they're cool. The hex, I think, is probably worth it because people round out Allen hex heads all the time.
I might buy myself a 10 millimeter just for my diff drain plugs.
Yeah.
Try it sometime.
Yeah.
I just serviced them though, so I won't need to do it for 2 years or 30,000 miles.
Yeah, I've never serviced my differential at all. I asked one of the guys at work the other day. I was like, "Hey, should I service my I changed the diff oil in my truck?" He's like, "Why?" Like, I don't know, because it's never been done. He's like, "Well, it's probably synthetic, so," he's like, "you probably don't need to worry about it." He's like, "A lot of that is just like places trying to make money." I said, "Oh, I didn't know that," but who knows? I'm not an engineering expert. I don't know how those fluids work. I just do the job. I do the work. But yeah, so here's the RBRT wire cutter. Someone was saying that the Doyles and these Macs are supposed to be the same thing, but actually I think it was Justin Dow did a video, but then he like later redacted that claim because he found out that they weren't. They just like look really similar.
I don't know. I've seen the Doyles with surface rust on the shelves when I shopped there a couple times, and different locations too.
Right. Well,
so I just don't think the finish is.
That's why I said he redacted the claim because it wasn't true, but he thought for a while that the Doyles and his old Macs were the same thing. They're not though. The Macs are a little bit better. So, I've heard some good things about the Mac like plier line. No, I've never used them. I looked at some needle nose on the truck because I realized I didn't have any needle nose, but I ended up getting like a Matco set, which worked totally fine. But I mean, they're cool. You just go Nipex. I think a lot of times it's just rebranded Nipex too.
Yeah, and you can pick them up in Menards. I got myself a needle nose.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
Like a 8-inch, I think.
That's
I
right.
like it.
Yeah.
Teeth are really nice.
That's where I got my my Cobras from. It was from Menards.
Yeah, those Cobras are pretty sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, well, Matco and Mac both have their names on Nipex stuff. It's like double branded.
For twice as much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's twice as much. It's a little bit more, I think. I don't know why it would be, but where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I don't know. I always thought that the Matco was the only one that had like a deal with them, but sure enough, I hopped on the Mac truck and then there's Mac Nipex branded. So that was interesting. Self-adjusting wire cutter stripper. That looks kind of cool. I don't know how much it is. I wish they'd tell you like the prices on everything. Unless you can get all of this for just $94. That's not terrible.
Might not be bad if you work in like an avionics shop.
Yeah. Yeah, or just do a bunch of electric work. It'd be good for an electrician. I mean, maybe not even a tool guy. If you're an electrician, you've probably got like Klein and everything already anyway. Oh, this thing's cool. I used this the other day. Or I think it's like it's the younger
air gun
brother,
right?
Yeah, this it's one of the guys at work has a stubby. It looks just like this. It doesn't have the light on the front. I think it was like it might be the same model. I don't know, but I mean that thing's pretty sweet. It weighs nothing. And it torqued the lug nuts. So we took a torque wrench to it just to see if it could do it. I only it was a Toyota, I think, so it was only 80 foot-pounds. But yeah, sure enough, it torqued them all nice and easy. It didn't struggle or nothing. So those are cool. Now, a little pricey, but if you like the light, then go for it. Looks like you
right
get
now, that free deep impact socket set. So maybe it actually might be worth it if you look at the cost for both.
Yeah, and they are Mac. They're not the Expert series, which is nice. What else?
Those extractors look nice.
Yeah, extractor set. Is this Expert? Yeah, here's Expert. So Expert, if anyone doesn't know, if no one's ever been on a Mack truck or whatever, Expert is like their Blue Point, or their like Matco is to Silver Eagle. Snap-on is to Blue Point as Mac is to Expert, which is really confusing because like they also have like DeWalt and like Craftsman and everything. So I don't know. I think you can buy some Craftsman stuff on the truck. It's just like the big Stanley Black & Decker conglomerate, but the Expert is basically their like cheaper set of tools. And I think they make some good stuff. There's some of their Expert sockets though look just like the ADV and like the Harbor Freight impacts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like,
now, when you say Harbor Freight impacts, are those the Pittsburgh or the Icons?
The Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Like the Pittsburgh Pro, like the 1/2-inch shallows with the Pittsburgh Pro 1/2-inch shallows, the Matco 1/2-inch shallows, and the Expert 1/2-inch shallows all kind of look similar to me, but what do I know? I don't know anything. What else do we got here? Get this free 13-piece Cobalt drill bit set. I wonder, are these Mac does warranted, or Mac warranties drill bits in every size?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have not been informed about this.
Even down to the smaller size. I don't know if it's on every set. I know like their big set is fully warrantyable, but it is obnoxiously expensive. I think it's like, well, I don't know. I don't want to put out a number and then get just like wrecked by a bunch of people who know what it actually costs. But I remember it being like something stupid expensive just for drill bits. But then again, if you have a Mac dealer for the rest of your career, then you don't have to buy another drill bit. But then the other thing too is it's like if you break a drill bit, sure, it's warrantyable, but then you're out of that drill bit till the Mac guy shows up. So I don't know.
Like I said, A&Ps only need certain sizes, and sometimes at larger employers, there's just like a free stock room where they provide you with the drill bits, so you might not even have to buy them. Yeah,
I mean, it's almost like you know which drills, like bit sizes you're gonna need most of the time, so you just buy a bunch of those. So I don't know. It sounds cool. It sounds good on paper, but we'll see. I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon me. I feel it coming.
Ball joint service kit definitely does not apply to me.
No, but these are cool. We use these at school. They work pretty well. It's old school, I would think. I feel like the technology hasn't really changed. We use them for, what did we do with them? Ball joints, and they make a kit that looks just like this for control arm bushings. Pushing in and out. I don't get why ball joint like service kits are always so expensive. Like Matco has that like new designed ball joint puller, and it's like $500 or something, or like $700 maybe. So I don't know. It's cool though. What do you get with it? Do you get anything free with it? Ball joint service bundle. Do you get this driveline socket set? Because those are kind of cool. It's like the universal heads on the end of extensions.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Those spline heads?
Yeah, I think they might be. I don't know what the heads are. Oops. But
That air-powered grease gun looks pretty nice for heavy-duty work.
yeah, I like the air-powered grease guns at work. We don't grease a lot of stuff anymore. I mean, like the only things that get greased now are the bigger trucks and like older vehicles that come in, or if there's a part that's been changed that has grease fitting. A lot of times sway bar links get changed and they all have grease fittings on them.
Yeah. Landing gears have so many grease fittings.
I'm sure there's a lot of moving parts. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm yawning.
Quite a few.
Master inner tie rod tool. That's cool. If you're doing a lot of like front end work, $172.99. I don't know what other ones cost, but that doesn't seem like a terrible deal. $100 for a creeper though.
I bought mine on Amazon. It's the Lyle Jeeper Creeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $50 made in the US.
Well, it says regular list is $120. Like, I mean,
for a creeper,
right? If like the casters are great, I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of money for a creeper. I was looking at creepers the other day. I was thinking about getting one for the home garage because ours is broke. It's missing a wheel. And I mean, some of the companies are selling some expansive creepers. So, you could probably find one cheap at like not Harbor. You probably find one cheap at Harbor Freight, but
yeah, I think they're like $20 with the coupon.
I would just say Home Depot. Like Home Depot is probably a good place to go. Speaking of Home Depot, I'm just gonna get on like a little side note. I keep thinking about boxes and keep thinking about the Husky box, and that might end up being my my toolbox in the future because it's pretty nice for the price that it is. I mean, you can't really beat it, but that's a side note. Just wanted to brag about Husky boxes for a little bit. All right, we're going the wrong way. Speaking of boxes, Mac Tools Edge. I don't know how I feel about the Mac Tool boxes.
You know, I saw a couple Maximizers, and they seem like nice boxes. I just don't know how much they cost, or what options you have, like as far as like configuration goes, and
Well, you know what they look like to me? They look like the Menards boxes.
Hey man, Menards makes some good boxes.
Right, I know.
Like
but
if I was Auto Tech, that's probably where I'd be getting mine from.
I mean, what I mean by that is that they look like cheap boxes. For expensive tool truck boxes, they look like they're cheap. I don't know. Something about them like doesn't. There's like missing a cool factor or something for me. I mean, I guess toolboxes look the same to most people, but like for me at least, I think they just kind of look like boxes with drawers in them. Like there's nothing that like stands out. They're not like, I don't know how to describe it. They just look bad to me.
Really, I like them. I've never, like opened one up and really like test the drawer slides.
Yeah. I just say I haven't either. I don't think anybody that I know has a newer one, but like this one here, it's a horrible color anyways, but like I don't know, something about it, like the margins are too big on the side or something. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look good. They got a lot of colors though. It looks like Maximizer finishes.
I don't know. I would check them out personally.
Yeah, I mean, if
you're buying a box, I think
this is a toolbox. So
yeah, just get the best deal you can, really.
Right. Toolbox is like 90% preference and like 10% like actual like usability, in my opinion. But I mean, again, it's different because like you got to get it ends up being a work surface for you.
Yeah, like sometimes you're outside and just you don't want to put like shit all over the wing,
Right.
You can scratch and damage it.
Right. It's like I don't know. I got like this love-hate relationship with toolboxes now because I bought the U.S. General, and I'm like, that 5-drawer roll card. I'm like, I mean, why would you ever spend money on anything insane like this? Because this thing is fantastic for the little money I paid for it. So I don't know. Maybe it'll change one day. Maybe I'll make the big bucks and just splurge it on a Nap-on. You never
Precise measuring equipment. Those look a lot
know.
like the Mitsu Toyo measuring instruments. NIU used those. They were nice. We had a whole lab just for like measuring shit. Like the study of measuring is actually called metrology.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
took a whole class in it.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know
Punches and hammers.
if I'd ever need to buy a micrometer. I feel like a lot of places just have them on hand. I'm sure you guys are like strictly like FAA.
Yeah, they do need to
like,
be calibrated.
measuring stuff, but
I have a couple just like for home because my grandpa retired, so I took his.
yeah. But I mean, if you need a micrometer, it looks like a bundle too. What does it say?
I like those double box end wrenches, but at the same price. Or at the same time, you can get the Icon ones for.
Right. Well, it might be the same thing where the Icon, the Matco, the gear wrench, and there's a whole bunch of companies that just rebrand a Taiwanese double box end wrench with the one side that ratchets.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that Apex Tool Group makes most of.
Yeah. Like I read this like
of the rebranded stuff.
I read this like big conspiracy thing that said like these type of wrenches are all made by if they're not like specifically USA made, they're all made by like the same Taiwanese company. But what do I know? Again, I am not an engineer. I don't own the companies. I just use the tools, and I think they look cool. That's a little pricey though. So, these anti-vibe hammers are supposed to be really good. I don't know what makes them special, but
that's a lot of money for hammers.
Right, a lot of guys talk about these anti-vibe hammers or anti-vibe, or however you say it. I'll have to look into those, but those are supposed to be like some hardcore hammers. This though, resist shop chemicals and kinking. I think a lot of guys or a lot of places just get the Flexilla, that like bright green hose.
Oh yeah.
You like can't be.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to supply your own air hoses.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, I don't. Yeah, we don't have to do any of our own air hoses, I think. But I'm trying to think of when you would need your own personal air hose. What situation?
For like an owner operator, maybe.
Yeah, or I mean, maybe if there's like a car in the parking lot or something, you want to like extendo the air hose, you just have your own. But I feel like a lot of times shops have like extra hose just lying around. I know we do for like filling air when customers come up like, hey, can you air my tires? We got a access port outside that we can plug into, and then we got a hose that's just sitting on the wall, or like an extension hose. So yeah, I don't know when you'd need to buy like your own, maybe for your home garage, but who knows? I think the Flexillas though are like the standard from what I hear. So yeah, check out the Flexillas. I know Menards sells them. They're pretty cool. Here's some ratchets. That's the head I'm talking about. I think it looks like the Tecton. It's not a terrible price either.
Yeah, my dad uses them at work, but his ratchets were made in Taiwan. Or at least that's what he says. I've never seen them. He's never showed me the toolbox. I've toured the hangar like 3 times. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of old 80s crap. Looks like garbage. Like, well, I kind of want to see it, like I kind of need to know what you use.
Yeah. Well, this has got the big Made in USA logo on here. These axes. I think these are supposed to be newer. Like they're like newer technology. Like they came out a few years ago new. It's not like brand new.
Oh shit, how do I get that free hat?
When you buy this OBD2 scan tool for $109, looks like the Bosch one that my dad has. That probably is the Bosch one that my dad has.
Yeah, my awesome ass girlfriend got me an Innova one for Christmas. I use that all the time. I like them.
Nice.
You know, just for like a do-it-yourself, where they seem to be pretty decent.
Yeah. I got the Matco one. I don't know what the part number is or anything, but it's good. It was super cheap with the student discount, so I keep it in my truck if I ever get a code, or if I'm ever with somebody and they're like, hey, I got to check engine light. Can you check it out? Because, you know, I'm the mechanic now. I got to know how to fix everything. It's a good feeling.
I just guess.
Right. It's a good feeling, though, when people think you're like that smart. Like, hey, my car's broken. Do you just like know what's wrong? Like, yeah, I do. That's how smart I am.
Or they give you like a vague problem and you're like, yeah, it could be like 10 or 12 things.
Right. My car's making a noise. Be like, well, there's about 250 million things on your car that can make a noise. There's like an unlimited amount of scenarios that would cause a noise on your car. So we got to narrow it down a little bit. This cut and weld bundle.
I don't know. I guess those Hobart auto dimming welding helmets are supposed to be like the best.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't used them. I got mine at Farm and Fleet. It's one of those KD tools. It's nice.
My Gramps gave me his. I haven't used it, but I'm taking welding class this semester, so we will let you know. I don't even know what brand it is, but it's lasted him this long, so it'll last me a little longer. This hat, though, just reminded me that I wanted to ask Mr. Matco Man today if he had any like swag that I could get, because I bought stuff again and I forgot to buy like a hat.
Get me a hat.
Yeah, I want a cool Matco hat, but I keep forgetting. Too busy buying tools. Oh, and then here's all
it's all your apparel.
I don't know who wears this stuff, man. I mean,
it's the guys who buy the boxes and then, you know, they get this for free, because no one outright buys like a Mac hoodie just to have a Mac hoodie, you know.
I mean, like, no offense to anybody who wears like this sweatshirt here, for example, with the turbo. Like, when I see that, all I think of is like country white trash. Like, I put a turbo in my Cummins and I make a lot of horsepower, so I'm gonna like yee over a hay bale right now. Like, no offense, that's just what it makes me think.
We just lost, you know, like our only 2 viewers, so that's cool.
Yeah, no, well, I wouldn't wear that. Don't wear this. Don't buy the apparel, guys. You can look so much better. Unless you're a dad. I mean, maybe don't buy this stuff. The hats are cool. These aren't cool. Anything with this like weird hot roddy decal stuff makes you look like you're from like.
I think they're trying to pander.
80s. Yeah.
You know.
Like, this is a cool sweatshirt because it's simple.
I don't think you should have to buy, you know, like apparel with their names on it for free advertising. You know, like, it's kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That should be free. You know. Yeah. Like, hey, you made like, you know, all your payments on time for 6 months. I got you a free hoodie to say thank you, you know?
Yeah. Well, here. This one's cool. It's a gray one. This one with the turbo on, it's kind of cool. I'd wear that. Anything with like this weird skull decal stuff, I think is kind of like off-putting. That's just me.
I don't get that style, but
you wear what you like.
You do you, man.
Right. This boosted one is kind of cool too. Just shirt. Maybe the big rig midnight runner. Does Mac just like only sell to diesel guys? Because I feel like this is all just geared toward like diesel hot rodders.
I don't know. Like I said, the diesel guys do their own thing. They got a different style, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate diesels. I would own a diesel myself. I would like a compound turbo anything, to be honest.
Do they got more clothes or more tools?
Probably, yeah. This is just all their accessories. Ooh, ear pods. Actually, those are kind of nice if you're allowed to listen to music in the shop.
I don't know. I was looking at Matco's website. You can get a student discount on a Yeti cooler that says Matco Tools.
Yeah.
And I'm seriously considering it.
Yeah. Maybe before your discount runs out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, if I'm going to buy a obnoxious cooler, I may as well get one at discount.
Some of these are okay. This is all right. It's collared. I'd work in this, like at home or whatever. Like with the orange sleeves and stuff. I'd probably do work in any of these sleeved ones. This hoodie's or flannel line jacket. I like flannel line jackets just anyways.
Hey, Justin, I'll get you that little lunchbox for your birthday.
Which one? What are we looking at?
Second page, bottom left.
Bottom left. I'm looking. No, that's.
Nope.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, the one that looks like the truck.
Oh, yeah. It's a toolbox. It looks like those are toys.
Oh, are they toys?
Yeah.
On my screen.
Truck tool case.
Oh. Well, you could use it as a lunchbox.
This is kind of cool. Like the mini Mac set. $29. I don't have any kids, but that's okay. What's on the back? Boots. For...
Boot your tools.
Oh, for the screwdrivers. And
Kind of
16
neat.
tool with one light. So, that's the Mac Flyer. August 3 to 30. Well, we're a little late, but it's just a little showcase of Mac tools. I think they got some cool stuff. If our Mac guy showed up a little more, maybe I'd contemplate buying things from him, but...
Yeah, like I said, if they would reach out a little better and show us how to get the student discount, I would definitely check out those RBRT bits.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't even give it. I don't care about the student discount. If he just showed up and tried to sell me things, that'd be cool. I'll pay full price. Just come to work. I hate when tool guys show up, the Mac. I mean, I guess I just like the Matco guy, but the Mac guy shows up. He's like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "No, I don't need anything." But you're supposed to be a salesman. You want to tell me if you got any deals on the truck or anything new coming in? They show up and look at you like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, "No, I don't need anything, but I would want something if you tried to sell me something." But the Snap-on guy does the same thing. He's like, "You need anything? Did you break anything?" I was like, "No." I get why you're asking that, but try and tell me something cool. I may or may not buy it.
I don't know. My gripe is that if you're an A&P, you might be working in a secured area, so the tool truck guys might not be able to roll up to your hangar. So, you can only go outside the airport on your breaks.
Right.
And depending on what airport, that might be a 15-minute excursion,
Right.
Or if you're at a terminal, that could be an hour to get back to the hangar because you have to wait for the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I wish they would work with airport authorities a little better.
Yeah, the whole airplane thing just seems so extra regulated. I'm sure it's great work, but it just feels like you guys have it a lot tougher.
Some things are easier though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like a lot of the big stuff, you've got plenty of room to work on things, but the small stuff, you have no room to work on things.
We get better product support, because for working on a Gulfstream in South, Brazil, you can call their engineering department,
right?
24/7 and be like, "Hey, what is this?"
Right. Yeah, a lot less. What's the word? Saturation in the the stuff that you're working on. It's you can call a Toyota engineer if you work at Toyota and ask him about a 2004 Toyota Camry, but how much is he actually going to know about a 2004 Toyota Camry?
Yeah, right.
But a lot of that, though, it's like a lot of times when they talk to engineers, it's more for like the new stuff. Like, hey, why did you design this thing new like this? Or how am I supposed to access this with the way you designed it? But speaking of Toyota, talk about our second topic. Actually, let's not. Well, you wanted to talk about your top 5 tools under $5.
Yeah. So instead of paying $300 for a single tool, let's check out the cheaper ones. So my top 5, they're not going to be in order. These are just in general. The top 5 tools I have that I catch myself using the most, starting with my personal favorite, is the Napa Carlisle DH14. You can find these at Napa, sometimes on sale. That's how I got them for $5. Otherwise, they're I think like $7.99, but still, they're totally worth it. They're just a 1/4-inch drive handle, and then on top of the handle, it's got the female drive end, so you can use it as an extension, or you could put a ratchet on it and push it the bit or socket onto the fastener a little better. Actually, quite a bit better. That's how we broke the retaining screws on your ABS module loose.
Mm-hmm.
My second one is the Harbor Freight brand Quantum Pocket Flashlight. You can also find those $5 or less with the coupon. If you don't have Harbor Freight coupons, you can sign up at the store or go on a website called HFQ as in Quebec, D as in Delta, B as in Bravo.com. It's just a bunch of Harbor Freight shoppers post current coupons on products. But yeah, the pocket flashlight is a must. I don't see what the point is on spending like $50 on like a stream light, because they're not supposed to produce like a whole bunch of lumens, and you might end up losing them before they even break. My girlfriend got me an Awesome Coast one that I will hopefully be able to demonstrate a couple of weeks from now at school. So I'll post that video when I get to use it. The third one is low voltage test leads. They're really nice when you're doing a continuity check. Sometimes you just can't get your multimeter into place to get the test probes on to check the resistance. So just throw a couple of the like 3-foot test leads on. Make sure you don't short anything out, and you can do your continuity check. Fourth top 5 under 5 is a magnetic bit extension. So I like this because I have the basic snap-on screwdriver. So if I want to extend the shank, I just use the bit extension instead of buying the whole fancy snap-on screwdriver ratcheting bundle that has like 5 different size extensions on it. Just buy like a $5 bit extension at Harbor Freight. It'll work just fine. My last one is a 1-pound dead blow hammer. If you're working in aviation, you probably want to avoid striking objects. That's why I like the 1-pound weight. It's super cheap. It's a lifetime warranty, unlike the Snap-on's 1-year warranty on their dead blow hammers. And it can be nice for like, kind of like seating fan blades into the dovetails. It's just a nice tool to have in your box ready to go.
So that was your top 5 under 5.
Yes, sir. Maybe next week you can do yours. We'll see. We'll come up with ideas.
I don't know if I have a top 5 under 5. I don't know. I don't remember what I pay for things, so I couldn't tell you if they were under $5. But I mean, I could do like a top 5 cool tools that I use every day. Who knows? I'll figure something out. The people will let us know what they want. Leave a comment. Topics, little bits that we can do throughout the show. More than willing to take suggestions. Let's talk about our next topic, our final topic, the one that's gonna take us out of the show today. I want to take a second and talk about car manufacturers, because you're working on automotive vehicles. They've all got manufacturers. They're all different, and they're all, They're all different. Let's just say that. Mike, you got a preference? I mean, I know you're the aeronautical aviation man, but you obviously don't fly planes every day. You don't work on planes every day.
I don't fly planes, period. Otherwise, I'll be on the news.
But you drive a car every day, and you've driven plenty of cars in your life. You got a preference?
I can tell you which ones I'd avoid. I'm not a huge fan of Chrysler products. Just in general, I think they lag behind. However, that new redesigned Ram looks really sharp. I didn't check it out at the auto show. I haven't test driven it, but if I was in the market for a half-ton truck, I'd definitely shoot over to
they look sharp,
my local dealer, and check them out.
Yeah,
I don't know. I used to have a Sentra SER, the pirate car. Shout out to Eric the Car Guy. Great YouTube channel. Bunch of tutorials on how to fix one. So he definitely saved my ass multiple times.
Yeah.
But the durability on that was just garbage. The suspension was garbage. It was a fun car to drive when everything worked correctly. I put like a Chinese far can on it. It was just like a lot of fun to drive. It was low. It was great on gas.
Yeah.
But had a lot of problems with like the valve cover leaking oil.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's normal for anything.
Yeah, but it would leak into the spark plug tube and
that's
cause
fun.
a misfire. Yeah, and the only way you can replace those seals is by replacing the whole valve cover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think Honda and Toyota have the best quality.
Bang for your buck.
Yeah, I'm trying to
put it in layman's terms.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly the best. Oh man, I can't think of the word.
They're good. I mean,
yeah, they're good. They're durable. They're engineered well and efficient and priced well too.
Right. Well, they're not.
And they hold their value. That's another thing you really have to consider too when you go to trade in your vehicle.
Well, I mean, big trucks hold their values too, but big trucks don't always meet up to the Toyota Honda standard. Now, I'd agree. Toyota and Honda are pretty fantastic when it comes to car manufacturers. I feel like, so I mean, since I started working, I've been under the hood of quite a bit of Toyotas, Hondas, Chevys, Fords. Because I mean, we're seeing them every day. I'm sure I'll be under the hood of plenty more. But I think like what the big thing with Hondas and Toyotas is like the simplicity of everything. Like there's not a lot of variation between models. Like Lexus and Toyota, I think, use like the same 3 engines in all of their cars.
Yeah, they like that 3.5 liter.
Yeah,
which is a great engine. It's
right. It's like that
500,000 mile engine.
I think they got a 2.4 as well. But yeah, it's like they got their car engines, and then they got like their mid-size to like full-size SUV engines. But like the RAV4 and like the Lexus RX 350 or whatever it is, I don't remember any of the Lexus models. Anything that has to do with a number and like a series of letters after it, I can't remember. But like the Lexus SUV and like the 4Runner and the Highlander they're like all the same car. Like when you get down to the nitty gritty, which I just think is nice, because it's like if everything's staying simple and like relatively what's the word, like
consistent?
Yeah, consistent, like cohesive. It's probably pretty easy to like continuously engineer. And if you're just gonna like when you engineer the next model vehicle, if you're just gonna like fix the bugs with the same engine, I mean, I feel like that's the way to go. Like when you look at Fords, I feel like Ford is like, we have to make an innovation every model year. It's like, no, you don't. Like, find something that works and just keep doing it. Like, people don't want to buy your cars because they suck. They don't want to buy your cars because like you haven't had the next big innovation. I don't know. Like for the aluminum body, it's like, yeah,
That's cool, but
right. But
you
like,
know,
how much of an innovation?
completely different body work,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Like, how much of an innovation is that really? Like, sure, they don't rust, but like aluminum still corrodes. Not
Yeah,
like,
and then if you
not the
use
same
steel
way.
fasteners,
Yeah.
you're gonna have dissimilar metal corrosion on that too.
Right. And yeah, and then they lock solid. Usually you can't get like valve stems when you take like the steel valve cores out of the aluminum valve stems or whatever it is. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's aluminum valve cores out of the steel valve stems. The dissimilar metals, they just like weld them in there, and then all of a sudden you can't get the valve cores out of your wheels. It's just like, I mean, that has nothing to do with car manufacturers or Ford. That's an example of when you put aluminum and steel together, because like their frames are still steel. I don't think their frames are aluminum because it's a full-size truck. I just like, Ford is really big on, let's make the next big innovation. Like, well, no, maybe you should just like fix the problems with what you have and like re-innovate your already existing stuff to where it's not like confusing and weird. But
Maybe get rid of a 4-cylinder Mustang while you're at it.
yeah, I remember. We won't mention our friend's name, but I'm sure Mike will know who I'm talking about. When he found out that Ford was putting 4 cylinders in the Mustang, he just like, he threw a fit because he's this like a big time.
He's brainwashed.
Yeah, this big time like big
Pony
muscle,
car.
right? There's no replacement for displacement type guy.
Goddamn right there isn't.
Well, like what was he pissed off about too? Oh, they put the V6 EcoBoost in the Ford GT. He's like, it's gotta have a V8. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure the V6 EcoBoost could just compete the supercharged V8 that they had in the 2000s Ford GT. I'm sure that the V6 EcoBoost just destroys it.
I don't know. The Ford GT has never been great as far as exotic cars go.
Except for the fact that it is a race car and it's won Le Mans on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it's a great race car. Is it a good street car? No.
Well, but that's the thing, is it's not a street car.
Yeah.
It's a race car that you're allowed to put license plates on. So you're driving a car that's designed to be pushed to the limits on the track, on the street. Not to mention they're obscenely expensive, and I don't think I've ever actually seen like a privately owned one, I guess would be the word, or like someone who actually has one. And I mean, we live near some pretty affluent neighborhoods. I've seen quite a few supercars. I've never seen a Ford GT on the road. Because I think a lot of guys who buy them they just leave them in the garage and take them to the track, or they take them down to the track and keep them parked in one of their like garage spaces that they rent at the track. But yeah, I mean, the Ford GT is cool. It's the flagship car, just kind of like how the Audi R8 is a flagship car. The LFA was a flagship car.
But the Audi R8 is just a cheaper Gallardo.
Nah, I wouldn't. You gotta be careful who you say that to. Because the Audi R8 was like it was basically Audi's way of saying like, how do I describe this? So the LFA, we'll use the Lexus as an example. So the Lexus LFA, it came out. There's a donut garage video on the Lexus LFA that explains this really well. But it's like a flagship car. They said you need to make a car with the most pristine, like showcase of Lexus Toyota Japanese engineering. They came out with the LFA, and it was fantastic. It was a great car, but nothing on it was like new and creative, so it didn't take off too well. But the thing is that it was like a uniquely Lexus engineered car. Like they spent like every second of designing that, like critiquing every little flaw and making it perfect. And that's what the R8 was supposed to be to Audi. It was entirely designed by Audi engineers. Every inch of it is
who just so happened to design Lamborghini.
Right. Well, I mean, but the Gallardo came out before that, or Gallardo, or whatever.
Yeah, same V10.
Well, but I think Lamborghini is owned by VW still.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't say that the Gallardo and the R8 are the same car. Just because they both have V10s doesn't mean that they're the same thing. Because the Gallardo was like a Lamborghini failure. It was like their cheap, it was like their Corolla. Everyone had a Gallardo because it was only like $150,000 or something. It was the Murcielago that everyone wanted at the time, because I think the Gallardo and the Murcielago were both out at the same time, and like the big time guys owned the Murcielago, and anyone else who just like wanted to have a Lamborghini had the Gallardo. And then they had the Aventador, and now they've got the Huracan. Everyone's got a Huracan now too. I don't know how much those cost, but I see them all the time. But yeah, no, the R8 is supposed to be like a flagship car for Audi. That's why they did the e-tron, the R8 e-tron or whatever, where it was all like electronic, because it's just supposed to be a showcase for Audi engineering. But yeah. No, when you talk about Audi and Volkswagen, I would never buy an Audi or Volkswagen. If I'm ever going to do side work and they're like, hey, I got a Volkswagen, I'll say, hey, take it to the dealer. I ain't touching that thing. They're like uber confusing. I just don't like German cars. I've decided. Like today, I was working on a Porsche, and it's just like confusing. It's 1986 944, so it's not like this brand new like peak innovation. But they're just like, German cars are just weird. I mean, nothing is like relatively straightforward. There always has to be some like weird like German quirk to it, where the German engineers sat down and thought like, would the Americans do it this way? Yes, so we're going to engineer it to the way that they wouldn't do it. It's just like odd. Like the 944 that I'm working on, the engine is a front engine car. It's not a rear engine, or Porsche's rear engine or mid engine?
I think they're considered rear engine.
Yeah, because I think
or at least the 911 is.
Yeah, they sit over the axle. I think mid engine has to be between the two axles, and then front engine has to sit over the front axle. But yeah, no, it's a front engine car. And I'm going to drain the oil on it. And I'm like, am I draining the right thing? Because I don't see the transmission. So I go and I'm like, I drain the oil. I looked it up on All Data, and I looked at a diagram or whatever. And yeah, it was the oil drain. But I'm like, man, did they like build the transmission and the engine together? But no, they put the engine in the front. They connected the drive shaft to like the input shaft on the engine, and then the transmission is like on the back axle. The transmission is in the rear. It's not
that's weird.
It's not connected to the engine at all by like a bell housing or anything. It looks like the car has like a giant rear differential, but it's just the transmission back there.
Maybe, I bet you it's for better weight distribution.
Probably. And it looks like the transmission that they put on like a mid-engine car, to where it's transmission and then differential. Just there's no gap between them. There's no like drive shaft in between. It looks like a mid-engine car's rear end. It's just missing the engine at the front. The engine is a whole like drive shaft away at the front of the car. But it's like that's like the perfect example of stupid German garbage.
Well, when you say weird engineering, I immediately think of Chevy, and like the overall reliability of their car has gotten better since they got that bailout and realized they actually have to produce like a reliable product. But some things they do are just weird. Like the glove box on a Cruise is just like held by an elastic strap, or take the headlights on your S10.
Oh,
just like that plastic backing that slips in.
All
their different packages. Like go on Rock Auto and try to find the part. It's like it's this part if it's got this J whatever suspension package, but it's this part.
Right, but like, for me,
and there's like 3 different AC Delco part numbers. Like that's what pisses me off. It's like there's no consistency.
I think the thing is that Chevys might be engineered a little weird, but Chevys are straightforward. Like there's nothing like you know where everything is. They don't have 2 air filters on either side of the engine, and the air filter isn't built into like the top cover of the engine. Like on a BMW, they take like 12 bolts out to get to the air filter. That's
kind of ridiculous.
That like sits on the top of the engine. Or like I did a Porsche. I'm gonna bag on Porsche a little more. I did a Porsche Cayenne or Cayman or whatever their SUV is. Porsche doesn't have dipsticks. Like, I mean, neither do BMWs and neither do like Land Rovers. Like Europeans just decided they didn't want dipsticks. Like that's what I mean by like nothing is like straightforward. Like how do I check the oil? Like, oh, I got to go through like some software in like the vehicle to reset the oil or check the oil level. We ended up not being able to check the oil level on the Porsche because you need a PIWIS. It stands for something like Porsche specific. But yeah, you go and you look at it. Some of them you have to let run for like 45 minutes before they can actually read the oil level. It's like just put a dipstick in. It literally makes things 100 times easier.
Well, I changed the trans fluid on my Yoda and on my girlfriend's Cruise, and there's no dipstick. You just fill it up until it starts like draining out. Like, where's the precision in that?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, you do that. That's not a new thing. The people have been doing differentials like that for a long time. You just fill it up to the fill hole, and when it starts coming out the fill hole, it's full. But I mean, like I got a dipstick, and you would just end up filling it through the dipstick. All in ATF fluid is a lot of times it's like super synthetic or whatever, and you don't even always need to service it. So. But transmissions are a little different than engine oil that you're supposed to be changing every 3,000 miles. But that's the thing too with German cars is, they all Audis and Volkswagen. Audis take like 540 a lot of the time. 540 synthetic. They all call for Mobil 1. All the German cars call for Mobil 1. But it's either 540, 040, or like 530 synthetic. And when you go and you reset their maintenance, they tell you to come back in 365 days or 10,000 miles. And it's like, that seems like a ridiculous amount of time for like an oil change. So unless 040 and 540, like Mobil 1 synthetic oils are just that efficient.
I don't think they are. I think they're still like base 3 oils.
Yeah, I just find it like really, really odd. But I mean, what do I know? 'Cause that's the thing too, is like nothing. It's not you come back in 3,000 miles and get your oil changed. It's all manufacturer specific now because oil's getting so weird. Like the new Toyota Actually, a lot of
the
that.
W16.
Yeah, the 016. Like, how is it different than a 020? Where's that like for whatever the measurement increments are? I don't know. But like, how did you get to 16 as a number? But I guess I was reading about it. I guess they've had 016 in Japan for a long time. But the American grading or whatever, somebody grades all the oil, ILSAC or something. I think it's ILSAC. They grade it like GF5 and GF4 and all kinds of stuff for conventional oils. I think we're on GF5 now for most conventional oils. They like didn't adopt the 016, and now they're finally adopting 016. So we're seeing it a little bit more in Japanese cars and like Toyotas and Hondas. But yeah, it's kind of odd. I don't know. Yeah, man, we got on a weird tangent. Talk about German cars. They're just bad. Don't buy German cars unless you're rich and you can afford to pay for the maintenance at the dealership. I wouldn't do a German. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, get an American car because you can do it yourself, but it's gonna like take a little work. Because a lot of times like there's just like little bumps in the road. So it's like fun to work on American cars. Like I've only had American cars, and they're all like, there's always like something that has to go wrong, so you gotta like think a little bit. Like I feel like the Japanese cars. I don't think I'm supposed to say Jap. I think that's like derogatory, so I'll stop saying that. But the Japanese cars are like uber straightforward.
If you can get to the parts.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Japanese cars. Well, most of the time too, you're not changing much on a Japanese car. You're doing brakes and like the occasional hiccup. But I mean, like I've had, what did I have? I had a Honda Accord come in with a like 148, maybe it was 168,000 miles. There wasn't a lick of oil on that engine. And like you come in with a Chevy with 168,000 miles and your valve covers are seeping, or your timing covers are seeping, or something's leaking. But I think that's like the big difference for me is you get some high mileage vehicles like that. I did the 4Runner that I was telling you the other day. That was some pretty high mileage. I mean, I think it had like 180,000 miles. I put that thing up in the air, and I think the only thing that was seeping was the axle boots in the front were ripped. But I mean,
yeah, that happens. I got that on mine. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, they just must wear out. But yeah, the axle boots ripped, and that was the only thing that was the only like fluid, I guess you could say, that was leaking. The valve covers looked great. The timing cover looked good. Like the gasket on the oil filter wasn't even leaking. Or, I'm sorry, on the drain plug. A lot of times you get like drain plug gaskets that just leak like crazy. Like it was pristine. I think that's just the big thing for me is like it must be like the engineering tolerances or something of Japanese made engines that are so fantastic. That's what would be the big cause of leaks, is just like poor tolerances, poor gasketing, stuff like that.
Their quality assurance and
that's
it's
true
just
too.
so high.
Yeah, quality control.
Like Toyota basically like developed that and how to manufacture stuff like precise and lean.
Yeah. Well, like, so I'm this has nothing to do with Aero Auto because I'm going to talk about
this whole episode is nothing about Aero Auto.
Well, we're talking about auto stuff right now. I do a lot of fishing, and I buy the Japanese fishing stuff, and a lot of times it's pretty expensive, but all of it is made in Japan, and it's all super quality because when you like look at the quality, like when you look at the like the mentality, like the mindset of Japanese people, it's like crazy. Like everything has to be perfect, everything has to be pristine. You like whenever you watch people talk about like samurai and like samurai swords, like it takes like months to make a samurai sword because it's all handmade, and it's like the whole process. They're all about like mastery, like everyone's got to be like a sensei or a like a, I don't know what the learner is or whatever. It's basically like a master and a learner, because they just
apprentice.
Yeah, well, they've got there's like a Japanese word for it. But yeah, like apprentice and expert or whatever. And you like strive your entire life to become like the master, and that's all you do. You just like dedicate your life to it. They do it for everything. Like there's like in their food too, like Japanese food, they do there's like master like teriyaki places, and that all their whole life, all they do is work on making the best like teriyaki food ever. Or there's like ramen masters, and they come in and they work like 15-hour shifts, and all they do is make ramen broth and ramen noodles, and they tweak it and they make it better. And it's just like that's what you're getting when you're getting Japanese cars, is that they take so much pride in the things that they make. If they made garbage, then that would be like prideful to them, that it would be unhonorable, I guess you could say. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like Japanese fishing reels are super expensive, but I was talking to a rep for one of the companies, and he was like, yeah, he's like, they're really expensive in Japan because Japanese guys buy these $500 fishing reels so that they last. He's like, they talk about buying them and like handing them down like 2 or 3 generations because they're built so well. But it's like that's the same way everything is they build it to last because they want like their like mark on things. But the issue is that they make a lot of their money in the US, and the US is big time like consumer culture. Like you got to have the next model. I think that's where you get the whole like Toyota really only has like 3 engines amongst all their models. They just change what they look like. Nothing really has changed. It's all the same really good technology. They just change what the outside looks like so that people think they're getting something new. But in reality, they're not getting anything new. They're just getting a more refined version of the same thing they had before. And I think that's why it's cool. That's why the Japanese stuff lasts so long. But again, what do I know? I'm not an engineer.
Same.
But yeah, that was my rant about cars. I think the bottom line is don't buy German. American cars are like middle of the road, and you'll get your money back if you buy a like a Honda or a Toyota, or maybe not a Mazda. Don't buy a Mazda.
I don't know. I heard those are pretty reliable.
No, I hear bad things about Mazdas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I said something the other day at work. I was like, it's a pretty nice Mazda. I was like, I don't mind them. He's like, you're showing your new side. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you haven't been around enough Mazdas to know that Mazdas aren't that great. I was like, oh, good to know. A couple of the guys at work claim that Mazdas are made out of like the worst material you could ever find on Earth. So I don't know. I have no experience to back up that claim, but like right now I like Mazdas, but who knows? I don't know. The Mazda rotaries are really cool. That has nothing to do with reliability. They're really cool. Look at the
probably the opposite of reliability.
Right. Yeah, gas guzzling, unreliable engines. But the Mazda 787B Le Mans winning Group C car, oof, that is a piece of engineering. Like it's an engineering masterpiece is what I was trying to say. It's just so good, so cool. But yeah, that was my rant. We needed content. Couldn't think of anything, to be honest. Talked about Mac tools, went through the flyer. Talked about cars. Mike talked about his 5 cool tools under $5. I think that's going to round out the show. You want to close with anything, Mike?
No, I don't really have anything to close with. Maybe next week we can go into what's going on with the Max, and when we'll see that back in the air.
Oh, is that an airplane? I'm a little green to what you're talking about.
So green, dude, like the Green Bay Packers green. Yeah, the 730 Max. Like it had 2 fatal crashes and
yeah. I know.
A bunch of stuff has come out.
I thought you were talking about something totally different. My bad. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If anyone has any suggestions, if anyone's watching, it says we got 1 viewer, so shout out to you. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. We're gonna close out the show. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Love your mom, love your dad, love your brother, love your sister. Wear your face mask, as Mike said last time. Don't let
just want to see planes fly, man.
Yeah, don't let the Rona get you where the good Lord bit you or something. I don't know how the new saying goes.
I've never heard that in my life, and with that
bombshell,
that concludes our episode.
Yeah.